Okay, lawn lovers, if it is late fall or early spring, you're going to want to pay attention to this trick to get your grass seed germinating extremely fast, and greenhouse poly can be your best friend. Let's talk about it. Okay, so we were out here in Middletown just checking up on a client that we renovated back a couple weeks ago. This particular client just knew they weren't going to have any chance of watering, and it's just amazing. Usually in the fall, Mother Nature's helping us out, giving us a little bit of rain. The ground is warm, the dew in the morning gets germination going, but right now in southern New England, the soil is completely like powder unless you have irrigation. So our mindset, you can see that just by looking around, we're getting a little bit of green fuzz on there. On some of these other spots, you can see a little bit of green tint to it. That's all the baby grass started to grow, and that's what we're looking for. It is currently the beginning of November, and we know that I'm not going to seed in the spring. And this is what happens if it's powder and you're not able to water. But by putting down this mulching straw and then by prepping the area, most of that seed will sprout early in the spring. But I want to show you a trick that we did on the other side of the property, because that's where the customer can see where we're using greenhouse poly to get the seed to germinate like that. All right, so I'm going to show you in a second what we do, but basically it's very straightforward and simple. This is a trick from the polo fields out in Portsmouth, where they need seed to germinate really fast because every weekend they're having a match, but the lawn gets damaged all the time. So at the cool times of the year, what they do is they take just plain plastic, regular. You can get it almost like a little bit thicker than a drop cloth. If you were trying to do painting, you can get those disposable rolls of plastic. Well, this is like a 3-4 mil poly, just a little bit thicker. And what we do is we just prep the area like you normally would, water the area really well, and then put the greenhouse plastic or the poly right over the top of it, and just take yard staples and pin it down all the way around the perimeter so it doesn't blow away in the wind. And you've seen these other areas that we've been doing. We had to do some major areas of renovation. That area is probably just gonna sprout. Maybe we can get a little green fuzz, and that's all we're after. But this has only been about a week's time, maybe a week and a few days. But let's take a look. I'm gonna show you this so you can see how fast it's been growing. So this is basically what we've done. And you can see it's just, customers been watering the rest of the lawn. There's water on top of it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because the fact that it's just helping it weigh down. But all we do is we put out a little bit of plastic, pin that down around the perimeter. Now, if you start getting 80-degree days, this can backfire. So typically in the spring, I've done this trick in the spring, and it fried patches because it just baked the grass that was good. But the areas that need seed, it's sprouting extremely fast because underneath here, this grass is, it's just acting like a greenhouse. So not only is it keeping the grass really warm on these cooler days, it's keeping the night temperature a little bit warmer because it's not cooling off as fast. You can see all this condensation that's happening underneath the plastic. So it's keeping it 100% humidity underneath it. And just by pulling it out, that's how green everything is. And that's only been a week. Now, right now, it's mostly just the ryegrass that's germinating. We want to give it a little bit more time because I want the bluegrass and the fescues that take a little bit longer. But you can just see the whole length. It's just a carpet, and that's only a week's time. Okay, so I know this isn't for everybody. It's not for every spot. But if you have pockets and it's in a primary viewing area, this is an area that the customer looks out on every day. They're not able to irrigate and water. This makes it go really fast. That poly now is ready to be taken off. I'll give it another couple days just because I want to make sure some of the slower germinating seed has had plenty of time to sprout, but we're gonna pull that off and it's gonna be almost an instant carpet. So if you're doing small areas and you're trying to get it to go as quick as possible and you don't have time to water, this is an amazing trick to get it to germinate fast, and then that grass will still be hardened off for winter and the lawn will not skip a beat. Hope that helps. Take care.